Oh, there was some fucking old movie I was going to watch tonight, too. Something. I don't know what to do. I have no idea. This fucking reminds me of right before I met my lovely wife. I was single and I was living in New York by myself. And I would just come home to the fucking apartment, just walking around, muttering, however you say it, muttering to myself. Anyway, one of the things I do want to do is I want to go to a St. John's basketball game when I'm here. I don't want to go to it at the Garden. I want to go to it at their facility out in Queens, where I used to see Chris Mullin play when the Big East was the fucking Big East, and Pearl Washington was in Syracuse, and fucking Patrick Ewing, and Michael Graham, remember him? We're down there in Georgetown. You had Villanova. Who else was down? Oh, that was great. And then you had the ACC. Ralph Sampson was in Virginia. Michael Jordan, James Worthy were at Carolina. I'll tell you one of my big fucking sporting regrets is I lived in North Carolina. I went to NC State, the off-campus something program, because I totally fucked up in high school. It's a long story how I ended up down there. But Jim Valvano was coach at NC State. Dean Smith was coaching the Tar Heels, and an unknown Coach K had just started at Duke, and I was there throughout a basketball season, and I went to 0 games. I made it up years later, and I went to a Duke Carolina game at Camden Indoor. But it was Chucky Brown and Charles Shackelford were the big guys for NC State, and J.R. Reed was over there at Carolina when I was there, and I don't know who did they have when I was there. It was 87, 88. So I think it was pre-Christian Laettner, or maybe he was a freshman. Yeah, I'm trying to think who won it. Who won it in 87? Was it Indiana? Was that Bobby Knight's last championship? Or was it Kansas? Was Sam Bowie was at Kentucky. Danny Manning. This fucking blows my mind how I can fucking remember this shit, but I can't remember anything short term. You know what it was? I wasn't staring at a fucking cell phone all goddamn day with these stupid Instagram. That's a problem with it's fucking Madison Square Garden. 2 original 6 teams. The crowd was dead. And they're doing the same shit they do at football games and basketball games. Anytime there's a stoppage of play, these fucking jerk-offs are running down the aisles shooting fucking T-shirts at people. Putting them up on the dance. Hey, kids, who can throw their hat up in the air and lands on their head? Can you fucking do that? Hey, let's have a kid come down. Hey, let's play Do You Know What This Is? And then they show like an Atari from the 1980s. And it's so stupid. It's some fucking kid. This shit came out 40 years ago. The kid's 12. But everybody in the crowd's yelling, Atari! And then the kid goes, Atari. They're yelling out the answers. All right, do you think that happens in China when they're at a game? Do you think that people yell out answers to the kids? They don't. That's why we're losing. There's been a lot of talk about tariffs, evidently. I don't watch the news, but all of a sudden on my feeds, there's a lot of people talking about tariffs and explaining who pays the tax. The importer pays the tax. Not the fucking... Nothing, but the guy who imports it pays the guy who receives it. I don't know what it is. Everybody's fucking yelling about it. You know, I had this crazy fucking thought today where I was talking about, you can't say this in my country, but like no one wants to admit what an absolute fucking failure capitalism is when it's not regulated. All right? It's already a fucking uphill battle if it's not regulated. And these guys are just completely not fucking regulated. So now it's just an absolute shit show. And they sell you on this idea that, if you get a bunch of stuff, it's going to fill up whatever it is that's making you feel sad, or that, that I don't know, that you're not doing enough, or you're not enough, or whatever. And this stuff, it doesn't fill it up. Just doesn't. And you know how you know that? Just look at that pile of shit that's swirling around out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. All of that shit. People bought that. All of this stuff. 2.5 times the size of Texas, fucking 2 miles deep, swirling a trash shit that people bought thinking it was going to make them happy, and it doesn't. And then they fucking throw it out and they fucking buy something else, and that doesn't do it. Doesn't do it. The only thing that I've found, I'm not talking about something you have a passion for, like if you fucking, like you're like old cars, or you like playing guitar or something like that. I don't mean that. I mean all of this shit. These fucking TVs and phones and fucking iPads and all of this none of that shit's gonna fill you up. What fills you up? Huh? Having more shit than the fucking guy next door is the stupidest shit ever. Helping people. I'm loving, there's starting to be this fucking pushback against these billionaire corporate cunts. I didn't think I was going to live long enough to see it. I thought it was going to go, even if I lived to be 100, I thought like right around then, people were finally going to fucking have enough of this shit. But it's really seeming, I don't know, or maybe it's just a reality that I'm in on Instagram, because I keep watching this shit where people are talking about these greedy cunts. And I'm starting to feel like a movement is happening. Wouldn't that be fucking amazing? What if that happened? If all of us, like, somehow they were reined in, and somehow the middle class expanded again, and you could actually fucking, have a job, support a family, have some benefits. I don't understand why that was too big of an ask. The guy who ran the company was still a fucking zillionaire. I must be a 10 times zillionaire. Fuck you, I'll push you below the poverty line. Anyway. Can you imagine? Like, I've been seeing these clips, RFK Jr., and I know he's a polarizing guy, but you got to, at least he's out there fighting the fight for getting our food to not have 10,000 ingredients. He said the food over in Europe has 400 ingredients. Over here, it's 10,000. And then I saw this thing that said the fucking assholes that used to make cigarettes somehow bought our food supply. General Mills and all these people that made all the Nabisco and all of this shit. And then they just applied the same thing that they did with cigarettes. They just want you addicted to this shit. They slowly kill you. That's got to be amazing. You know what I mean? Like what's funny about people who do shit like that? Like those companies that go around and they do research and they know what they're doing is killing people. You know what amazes me is they do research on it. They write it down and then they save the shit. Like fucking P. Diddy. You know what I mean? He goes out and does all that shit and then videotapes it and keeps the shit lying around. Like, you don't think eventually somebody's coming through that door and is going to grab the shit and you're going to be in jail? Fucking lunatics. Why do they do that? You would think once they saw that, oh my God, we're killing people, shred all of this shit. They wait till the feds are coming up the driveway and then everybody starts throwing shit in a paper shredder.